Well, this Denali sure is buried. Welcome back, guys. David Shepard here on the Humble Hotshot channel. Got a quick, well, hopefully quick call for this 2023 Yukon Denali that's buried behind me. As you can see, got a pretty big dump here in Aspen recently, and this car has been sitting, and of course now the battery is dead. So a little history on this one. Like I said, it's a 23 Denali, so pretty new unit, and despite being new, this is actually the third time I've had a service call for this vehicle. So this customer comes in and out of town to ski and whatnot, so this car sits a lot. This is his Aspen car. So first time it was stuck out at the airport, sitting at Aspen Airport, really cold single digits temperatures, and the electronic parking brake was stuck on, became frozen back there. And when those don't, I eventually got it to free up, but when those don't cycle the way they should, the computer gets kind of messed up. Maybe if it's halfway in, halfway out, computer doesn't know, so it wouldn't let you move the car, because at least the computer thought that the electronic parking brake was still activated. So yeah, really love those electronic parking brakes, especially here in the Arctic conditions we have. So I know you can sense my sarcasm if you haven't seen my other videos on electronic parking brakes. So that was call number one for this vehicle. And then, I don't know, later last winter, we got a call that the battery was dead. Customer arrived into town. It wasn't on a tender or anything like that. And the battery was dead. A couple lights came on the dash, but not enough to crank the starter. So tried jumping it, and it would not take to a jump start, and eventually, just for time's sake, we went ahead and replaced the battery. You can see we've got an Interstate in here, not the original battery, but just thought that was odd considering the vehicle wasn't even quite a year old at that time. Shouldn't need a new battery. Now, if you let them sit, especially in really cold temperatures, not the best thing for a battery. So who knows? I think that one probably would have come back to life with a slow trickle charge, but for time's sake, the customer preferred to get a new battery and get it fired up. But even after installing a new battery, we had some issues. So this is where I'm calling on you guys. If you know anything about the computer resets, when changing a battery, you know, there's so many electronics in these modern Denalis. You know, when I change batteries on the German cars, the Audis, the Porsches, the BMWs, there's always a process for registering the battery, and you know, I use an OBD saver to save all the settings and such, but these vehicles are much the same. So long story short, after replacing that battery, vehicle still didn't want to start. Had to go through, clear a bunch of codes. I had to just use my scanner to repeatedly clear a bunch of codes. That's how I got the parking brake done, believe it or not, that time at the airport. I just consistently would clear that code, it would come back, and I don't know if the brake finally retracted all the way, or just that repetitive clearing of codes, finally the code would stay off and allow the vehicle to move. So it was much the same after the battery change. Cleared all the codes, you know, reset the windows down, back up, do the whole sweep, and then also changed the key fob battery, just because that was also sitting in the cold for a long time and was kind of suspect. So new starter battery, new key fob battery, and went through, cleared all the settings, did full reset on the computers, and then this fired up. Well, here we are the following winter, sat for a while, and same condition. So I tried just putting a jump pack on this. Lights came on the dash, but no crank whatsoever. So right now I got it running off the old service truck, you know, the old 2006 Chevy. She always starts up. Not too many computers, no frills here. This thing's been great, so praise God for that. But we've got this hooked up to an Anderson connector in the back, you know, good snowplow connector, some big 1-gauge wires coming straight from the battery through a breaker to the back of the truck. So I saw some comments, you guys have seen this wire coming out of the back of my truck, and some thought I was just running off the trailer plug, but that's big heavy gauge Anderson connector going up to customer vehicle's battery here. So I'll show you, I got the voltmeter snipped on there. So with the truck running, hopefully you can see that, we've got 13.9 volts trickling into this battery. So we're gonna let that boil for a little while and then see what we get. But comment below if you've had experience with these newer Denalis. I've done battery changes on brand new Suburban Yukons, just lower trim model vehicles, GM vehicles, and haven't had this issue. So something with these computers are not happy. My scanner does seem to cure it, but in fact, I'll just show you. It's been on there for a few minutes. Key fob's in here. We know that battery was new last winter, although might be worth looking into that. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some really stuttery gauge stuff here. Okay. We had a little attempt to crank there. I don't know if you could hear it. Little attempt to crank, but not much. So I'm going to let that keep trickling, and then I might put a high amp jump pack on top of the cables and try to get this thing going. But definitely comment below. Let me know if you guys have had experience with this. Are you a GM dealership tech and know about these things? But what am I missing to get these to take to a jump start or a battery replacement like a normal vehicle? Do they just draw that much power, and these modules need so much to turn the starter and also run all the computers, or is there a different process, a little step that I'm missing here? Let me know below. But while we're waiting for this to charge, thought I'd just share the verse of the day with you guys. Didn't hit you with it right at the beginning, but we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, we actually jumped in the old service truck here because, you know, it's cold out there, and we're just letting that charge up. So why not? Don't mind that pesky little light up here. That's nothing to worry about. Otherwise, this sucker's running good. We got the heat going. We got this jump pack warming up because she wasn't happy. I had it in the back of the truck, and it didn't want to work in the cold, and that's just, nothing wants to work in the cold. That's the struggles of working up here, but you adapt and overcome. So, hey, beautiful snowy surroundings. Might be able to see, yeah, ski runs on Aspen Mountain just up there. So praise God for this beautiful place, this toasty truck we sit in. I got the launch scanner here fired up. I wanted to make sure that wasn't too cold. I do keep that up in the cab here, and I'm gonna go ahead and share Psalm 34:8 with you guys, just a short one that says, taste and see that the Lord is good. So just an invitation for you guys today, whether you're a believer, a Christian already, and just we continually need to draw near to God and be reminded of his goodness, or maybe if you never have, if you weren't raised in the church, or you've drifted away, or you've just never believed in God and never experienced him, I just invite you, challenge you to taste and see that the Lord is good. Call out to him in prayer, read his word. If you've never read the Bible, just read it with an open heart and an open mind, and I would love to hear what you guys think. So that's the invitation today. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Now we're going to give this a few more minutes of run time. I think I'm going to go ahead and plug the OBD scanner in. I know we're going to have some codes in that Denali, and it almost wanted to crank. It gave me a little crank out of the starter already just with the jumper cables. So we've had 14 volts trickling into that battery for about 10 or 15 minutes now. So I'm going to give that a little longer, and then I think I will stack a jump pack on top of that just for the extra cranking amps, and we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, Denali is running, guys. Had my hands full, so I didn't catch the moment on film there for you guys, but had the jumper cables as well as an extra jump pack just for the additional starting amps. And after I let it run off of my truck for a while there, trickled some power into the battery, and then also used the jump pack right when I went to start it for some extra cold cranking amps, and she is running. So praise God for that. Like I was saying before, we knew this would be the case, but we do have a check engine light. We're gonna have all sorts of warnings on this thing. We're gonna have to go through and clear. So we got the launch scanner hooked up. We'll go through and do that. You gotta open and close the windows to reset the power windows, and all sorts of things after you lose all voltage to these Denalis. So we'll go through and do all that, and I'll show you guys the process there, and praise God, she's running. Should be easy from here. Okay guys, sitting back inside the Denali here. 2021 actually, my mistake, but we'll get the launch set up here, and in the meantime I'm gonna go through. Hey, got the heated seat clicked on, you know. When it comes to electronics, that's one that I do like. In fact, let's crank the heat. I didn't want to use too much battery power, but I did I did put my voltmeter on the battery now that we got this running, putting out 15.2 volts. So alternator's definitely working, definitely charging. You can see this thing's only got 7, almost 8,000 miles on it, and all these issues already. But anyway, we're just gonna follow the on-screen prompts for right now. Turn this fan down just so you guys can hear me. So open then close passenger window. Oh, not possible right now. We're gonna have to let this thing thaw out. So I'm gonna go through and check these codes with you guys. That's something we can do. So let's bring her up here and see what we got. We've got 2 for the ECM, brake system control module, indicator lamp, okay. And then invalid data received from brake system control module. So I'm really hoping the parking brake isn't stuck on this, but boy, it has not been above freezing here in town in a while. So these could be from low battery voltage, or it could be that problem with the parking brake again. Transfer case control, see, that's just a battery voltage low. Differential control, that's probably just from the low voltage. And then, yeah, look at all these brake system codes, 17 of them in total. Wheel speed sensor, circuit low voltage, trailer brake stuff, lost communication. So what we're gonna do, and then 13 codes for the restraints, all the active seatbelt restraints, and then another one down here. So let's go ahead and clear all of these. I just want you guys to see if you have one of these modern Denalis and you think you'll just be able to jump start it with another vehicle and go, just know it's going to be more difficult than that. You'll probably need to slow trickle some power into it and then give it a good jump. In my experience, that's what gets these back to life, as you guys saw. And then you are going to have to go through and clear some codes. And you can't just clear them by disconnecting the battery. In fact, that'll actually cause more codes, like you could do with older vehicles. So, looks like some of them are clearing and some are not. All the brake control stuff is still on there. So we got some work to do yet, but I'm going to keep, so that ECM code remained, system low voltage, all this stuff. But like I said, when I did this last time, I just had to repeatedly clear these codes. So I'm not sure the reason for that, if that computer just needs more of a hard reset or what, but this is one of the vehicles where I just have to keep going through and clearing these codes. So I'm going to work on that. I got to get the customer up to speed. I'm sure he'll be at least happy to hear this thing running, and I'll close out with you guys in a minute here. Okay guys, the old, not so old Denali is running. Code's cleared. She's out of her hole. Got a little extra load up top, but she's running. Everything's working. Praise God. I did just have to go through and repeatedly clear those codes once again. So I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's this scanner. This thing has been working great on all sorts of makes and models, even the high-end foreign cars and everything. So you can see we got a clear dash now. No check engine light. Nothing else going on. Got all the codes cleared, and like I said, I just had to go through and do it multiple times. I did drive the car around the parking lot a bit. I remember some of those wheel speed sensor codes and ABS codes. You just have to move the vehicle, you know, if there's ice or just it got a bad reading or no reading with the battery disconnected. Go ahead and move the vehicle once you get it running, and it should pick up the proper wheel speed as long as there's nothing else going on. And those codes went away, and praise God, we got a clear dash, we got a running Denali, everything seems good. So that's all I could say about these things. Maybe there's something I'm missing, maybe there's something I don't know about these specific vehicles, but when they go dead, fully dead, and lose all voltage to all the modules, I've just had to slow feed, sort of trickle power into the battery, then boost the power and get it jumped and running, and then go through and methodically clear out all the codes, and then it should run again. So I'm gonna settle up with the customer, talk to him about maybe getting a battery tender, or I think he leaves it too far from the building to be plugged in, but maybe a battery disconnect switch so it doesn't go dead when he's out of town, or hey, maybe even paying me a little bit to come up and start this thing every so often so we don't have to keep doing this. But hope this helps some of you guys. If you've got a newer, higher end GM product like this 21 Denali, and have it go dead, hopefully this helps. And like I said, I don't know everything about every vehicle model, by any means. So if I'm missing something, if you know a better way to bring these things back to life, or just more about this platform in general, please post it below. And once again, encourage you guys to taste and see that the Lord is good. So have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless.